Gonna be a grind today for our Friday, but blessed to be busy. Unfortunately, it's 34 degrees outside right now, and the high is anticipated to be a high of 47. So it's gonna be a cold day. It'll be a grind, but blessed to be busy, grateful to be busy.
Simple as my mama said when I was very young. She told me not to worry, son, one day you'll be someone. But here I am at 21, loaded as a stagecoach shotgun. I'm sorry, mama, please don't look at me.
Morning, guys. It is Friday, and we are heading to a build out in Yorkville, Illinois. Yesterday concluded pretty quickly because I finished up that inspection over in Lockport, and as I was walking out the door, there was pea-sized hail hitting all around. So I got rained on and hailed on yesterday. Following that, I had, I think, 5 inspections scheduled, and I had to reschedule all those just due to the high winds and scattered storms. The storm last night didn't have the energy in order to produce any legitimate hail. So we'll keep trucking on. Today I have that roof build in Yorkville. This will be his 3rd roof with us. Back in 21, he was affected by a hailstorm that rolled through, and he was referred to us by a strategic referral partner. So we replaced that roof in 2021, and then in 2023, he called me out asking to inspect that 2-year-old roof, and it was prematurely failing as a result of delamination and excessive granule loss. And then this past fall, the same thing happened. It was another manufacturer defect where I went out there, and basically the roof was just in horrible shape. So we filed a claim with the respective manufacturer, and when it comes to the manufacturers, we do full system warranties that are fully backed. The manufacturer ends up just cutting a check to completely replace the roof. Totally understanding. We've since changed the manufacturer that we've installed the last 2 times to a different manufacturer for this time, just to get this thing all laid to rest. But anyways, we're installing today. It's roughly a 4,000 square foot roof, so it might be a 1 or 2 day job. More likely it'll be 2 days just because it's a relatively steep roof, so we'll see. But I'm heading out that way right now to check on the guys, make sure everything's going smoothly, and then from there I've got a walkthrough for a multifamily opportunity. I think it's like 12 or 15 buildings. I've still got to check, but basically the facade brick on the structures are all falling off, and that's super common if they're not installed properly. And usually the facade brick is like 1/4 inch thickness, so it's not a real reliable material in the Chicagoland market. So the HOA and board are gonna opt to replace all of that with new vinyl, and we were introduced to them. So that the idea is that we'll meet today, provide some insight on ways in which we can get this thing rectified, and then we'll run some measurements and provide a detailed estimate in order to hopefully win the project. So sounds like this project in particular is going to run almost immediately, just based on the condition of the structures. And the conversation I had with one of the board members was they have reserves set aside for this. They've been budgeting accordingly for some time now. So we'll extend our best foot forward and see what we can do there. And then after that, I've got an inspection in Aurora. I think I've got 2 or 3 in Downers, 2 or 3 in Darien. So it's going to be a really long day. I think in total I'll be on 7 or 8 different addresses, separate of the multiple buildings we'll be walking in a few hours. So it's going to be a grind today for our Friday, but blessed to be busy. Unfortunately, it's 34 degrees outside right now, and the high is anticipated to be a high of 47. So it's going to be a cold day, especially with it being overcast and it having rained for a good majority of yesterday into last night. So it'll be a grind, but blessed to be busy, grateful to be busy, and I'll keep you guys updated as things progress throughout the day. All right, guys, we are just getting the tear-off performed here in Yorkville. This is our 3rd install for this particular roof. So there's been two roofs that we've installed here, both of which have had substantial issues with granule loss just a year or even 2 years after being installed. So I'll pull some shingles and show you what it is that why we're replacing. You can actually see this felt's coming up. It's real tough to come up, so this is a pain in the tail to remove this shingle. It's got a reinforced nylon strip, so it's very robust. Let's see if we can see some shingles for you. So here's a good example here. And I don't know if you can see that, but basically the granules are all coming off all throughout the shingle here. And this is supposed to be a 50-year roof warranty. So obviously if something's happened like that in year 2, you're not gonna be fully covered. So anyways, this will probably be a 2-day roof install based on how things are going right now. So I'll be out here tomorrow at some point checking on everything. Tomorrow's gonna be a pretty packed day. I've gotta be over in Indiana, and then after that I'll be running over to finalize a contract in Mundelein, Illinois. So lots of drive time tomorrow. So yeah, this is the nature of the beast that we're in. So all right guys, a little midday update. We did that job start over in Yorkville, and then a walkthrough for a multifamily opportunity. That went well. Basically, the HOA is paying to have some of their faux brick replaced with new vinyl. They're experiencing a ton of issues with the faux brick basically falling off of the structure due to water infiltration at the seams, which is super common. I just don't feel very confident in that particular building material, and there's a reason that it's not installed all that often anymore in these colder, more volatile northern climates. So anyways, we'll quote out. It looks like they're gonna wanna do a totality of 5 buildings, and we'll end up doing about 2 or 3 this season, with the remaining to be done next season. So we'll get to work on that. It's a pretty solid opportunity in order to shine. And then after that, I went to and just wrapped up with my inspection over here in Aurora. This was a referral from a real estate agent that I've worked with for many years. We've used her personally, and we've probably done a half dozen to a dozen roofs in this immediate area over the years. So homeowner was super cool. He's also in construction. He just told me like, hey, I don't trust my guys in order to do this job the way that it needs to be done because they don't specialize in roofing. So that's totally fine. I'm excited to win that project and highlight, our strengths. It's funny because I'm literally passing 3 or 4 roofs that we've done after I just met with him. So now I am heading out to Darien. I'm gonna start my storm inspections for the day. If I look at my calendar real quick, I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I've got 5 more inspections, all of which are for storm-related damage. So we'll see what we find. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll get as much information as I can over to you, as much filmed up on the roofs, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, we are out here on this mansard-style roof out in Darien, and I pull up and I see that. So we'll do something about that. Anyways, we are about to hop this roof real quick and see what's going on. The hyper light set up, got the cleats in the ground. All these gutters here are pretty tore up. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but this install was a nightmare. The wrong contractor was hired here. Correct perimeter flashing either, so. It is what it is though. You're kind of used to it in this market. A lot of guys pretending to be roofers that aren't really actually roofers. You can see very large hits all throughout though. I mean, pretty consistent with the rest of the houses that I've looked at on this street here. Faux chimney's gonna need to be replaced. You can tell that there's some ventilation related issues. Look at how they ran this. You see that? Some absolute butchers on this job. Definitely see something's wrong here. This plywood is wet. Yeah, this should qualify for sure. Look at this hit. And it's like 45 degrees today. And this power fan's running right now, which tells me that there's like a real significant ventilation issue. This roof just isn't breathing properly. And just walking around on this plywood right now, you can feel it's soft. So we'll get them taken care of. There's hits all throughout though, so this should be a pretty easy one to get taken care of for this particular homeowner. And again, they're a referral, so let's go take care of that yard sign now. When you're getting down from a roof, the most important step is the first. Always gotta focus. These gutters are filled with debris. On one shoulder with some wind. I already did back and shoulder workout today. I don't need another one. You can tell people in this entire area are just completely tired of the roofers. Nobody will make eye contact with me right now as I'm walking around. They're scared. All right, guys, out here in Downers Grove. Not a whole lot of supporting collateral. These are some pretty large overhangs here, so we'll see what's going on with the roof. There were a couple hits in the gutters. That looked pretty good. So it looks like it's a Tamco shingle. They've reported a lot of issues with the mice coming in the home. And squirrels. So roof is old. Old. I have a feeling that these guys have a pretty bad ventilation problem. Yeah, I don't know. Not seeing any freshly exposed asphalt here. And this valley is chewed up. This is leaking for sure. Yeah. So this roof's not really in a repairable state either. The granules are completely chocked full here. Not a good situation to be in, especially with all this work that was just done on these ridge vents in order to prevent any kind of critters from coming in. And these zip screws are a horrible idea with wind-driven rain because they will allow moisture to come in. Don't know if you guys can see that there, but this hip and ridge is actually just the field shingle that was cut and then installed, which is not code or manufacturer compliant. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave this one up to the homeowner here and see what they want to do. All right, guys, inspection over here in Downers. This looks like a newer roof. Homeowner wanted to see if they may qualify for a claim. We actually did a roof on this street here. So, see what's going on here. House is in pretty rough condition. So, see all these brackets are broken and the gutter run is completely messed up. You see these gutters here have been leaking at this corner, which is why all this is rotting out here. This is soft to the touch here. So, get a good photo. Yeah, that caulk is in rough shape here. You can see all this rot going on with the fascia too, where it ties into the roof. And this trim board here is allowing for water to slide up and underneath. So, not good. Overall, roof's in pretty good condition. So, like minuscule hail hits. Again, this is another IKO shingle. See the straight dragon's teeth here. So, most contractors in Illinois installing IKO are selling the cheapest product available, in my opinion, and they're typically contracting with the cheapest subs available in the market. So I never recommend the product. It seems like every wind claim that I get on is an old IKO roof that's just failing prematurely. And I don't know if that's labor related or if it's material related or a mixture of both. So just not a product that I would install on my own property, that's for certain. Again, you can see some wood rot going on behind that You see this this torch down roof system isn't properly flashed, and it's got cap nails keeping it down right now. So they contracted to do the whole roof and a new faux chimney apparently, but kept the old flat roof that might be as old as me. You can see some roof tar around this penetration here as well as this vent here. Let's see if this is even, yeah. I just threw some nails in this thing and pray it doesn't fly off. So, looks like another busted gutter run here. Gotta love bad workmanship. The shingle's torn here. This gutter's falling off of the structure here. You can just see it's flapping in the wind here. Nothing, literally nothing is keeping it secured right now. There are no brackets of any way, shape, or form holding on to this gutter pan. So, huge liability. Needs to be redone. Some face nails. I'm not even going to go down in this area here, but this dormer is not properly flashed from what I can tell right now. So, not good, not good. That's more better. So I'm walking down the roof right now and you can hear the gutter just singing in the wind. And these wood framed windows are all rotten out too. Does look like they did a new trim board here though, so wasn't done correctly, but it was done. And the reason I say it wasn't done correctly is typically you're supposed to cut here, and then install the trim board with a piece of Z-flashing of some sort here to divert water away. So with wind-driven rain, it's just all going up and behind. So yeah, not a good one to be on, but all we can do is share the information with the customer and let them know. I also forgot to point out there's a ripped shingle back here. Don't know if you guys caught that, but yeah, right here. So exposed nails. That's no good. Alrighty, I'll share the photo report. I'll let the customer know, and we will get on to the next one. Alright, another inspection out in Downers, another referral. So these are newer gutters. You can see there's some good hits in it. This roof is old. Looks like an old GAF shingle. So pretty rough condition. A lot of granule loss. Even if you look from the most recent storm in these gutter pans, you can just see gutters are chocked full of loose granules. So looks like some wind damage here, or maybe some damage created by the gutter guys actually. Now I look a little bit closer. Here's an area that's leaking for sure. So this color here, which is manufactured by GAF, it's actually discontinued. So State Farm or any other insurance carrier comes out here, they're going to owe for complete and total replacement if they cover a select few of shingles. So that's probably the game here. Homeowners had 2 other contractors out on this roof. Both said, hey, let's file this thing and see what happens. Newer siding, not really seeing any spatter marks, but he does have like a metal roof, like a patio furniture metal roof, and it shows some good hits in it. Delaminated shingle here for the hip, or I'm sorry, the ridge. And just getting a feel for it. There's some soft wood up here too. You can tell. Yeah, this is probably 3/8 inch gap or deck with 24s on center. Yeah, this is some sketchiness here. All right, not really seeing a whole lot of claimable hail damage though. So let's run a chalk. See if we find anything on these vents. Yeah, you're not even seeing spatter marks. There's nothing on these. They're clean. Okay. But again, this looks old. Just there's no spatter marks, so I don't know. Again, all these eave shingles are creased from when they installed the new gutter apron. So maybe we can get something pushed over, but ugh. I'll circle some of these cosmetic blemishes. I really think this is just ventilation related issues, if I'm being honest. But I'll show the homeowner and see what he wants to do. Get this front going. See if we can't find anything on the front. Maybe we could build a picture out of this. Nail pop. Rusty nail pop too. All right, so let's do a quick pin count. 1, 2, and 3. Didn't see anything on the lower. Yeah, he's got ridge vent on the lower. Mark this up real quick. Probably just go back with a straight ridge vent system here and get rid of this power fan. It's just better not to mix the ventilation on this thing. You can tell that there's definitely some issues going on underneath this shingled roof though, in terms of the plywood. Like I said, I think it's probably more than likely 3/8 inch. So. All right, we'll let the customer know, and we'll put the information in front of him and see what we can do here. All right, guys, final inspection of the day. Always good to see that yard sign out there. They're actually some cool dudes. I know those guys on a personal level, so no hate towards them, but business is business. A lot of granule loss here. You can see some hits in the gutter guards too. So this is a beautiful home, very well maintained, beautiful hardy siding installed here. So he went with the upgraded gutter guards too. It looks like they were recently done. But if you look here, you can actually see all the granules in the from the valleys. Just coming right off. Decent damage. Good photo. And this is another referral here, so homeowner was like, oh, I regrettably put that yard sign out front, but you're referred out to us and you've got an excellent reputation. I said, sir, say less. So here we are. It's a pretty big roof here, even though it's a bunch of hips and ridges. I think we could get this one approved. I'm pretty confident. I trained my brother and some of the other guys pretty well. I think this one would get through. Here. Oh, here's another good one on the right. Oh. Ooh, the rear is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, Justy. But if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. So. I'm not seeing anything. I'll put it 0. Nada. Alright, let's do a quick pin count. We got ridge vent. I see a 4-inch there. Hey, how are you, sir? How many guys have been up on this roof? How many guys have been up here?
I don't know. I think we get a couple.
One of the guys cracked one of these shingles over here. It's gonna let water in. I just sent him a text to show him. But you know where this is called a valley area here?
Yeah.
Where the two roof lines converge, right? This area here in the middle is real soft. So if you're not being smart about it, you could accidentally put a foot right through it and tear through it. So now he's got that going on up there from guys not really knowing what they're doing. Like I said, I sent him a photo, so. All right, guys, just wrapping up for the day. It was a good one. Threw out 2 or 3 yard signs. Had a couple really solid retail opportunities, so Friday well spent. Got 3 inspections tomorrow, so it'll be a busy day for Saturday. I've got 2 in Indiana, just over the border, and then a contract that I've got to finalize and sign off with a customer in Mundelein, Illinois, and then after that it looks like I'll probably actually be heading over to Darien/Downers for an inspection or 2. So I guess I've got 4 or 5 appointments, so kind of lose it after a while. It's running and gunning all day long, and then separate to that, it looks like I received like another 2 or 3 referrals today, which I still got to follow up via email or phone call or text message. So heading home, gonna prepare some estimates to email out right away for customers that want their retail estimates right away, and then I'll keep you guys updated. I'll probably get this video closed out here and right now, uploaded and edited all up over the next few days, so I can have it out middle to late next week. So thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and keep following for some decent content.